Yeah.
Go on,
Right,
what
no
about
one skip me because my choice of caffeine today we have
it?
a pink a pink Red Bull. Um, I've had too much caffeine today, and I was debating to get a Monster, and then I was like, I'm gonna get a Red Bull instead because it's not quite as intense caffeine wise. What else? What's everyone got for caffeine today?
Oh, I've had my caffeine by now.
Yeah, I ain't
No.
got one.
Oh, has no
Carrying
one
the
got
team.
caffeine today?
Got a coffee.
Nice. That's a good cup, that man.
Thank you.
Where'd
Sorry.
you get that from?
I don't know. It's a gift.
Nice.
Let's see
I
it.
like
I
it.
didn't see it. Nice.
Very cool.
It's
I
cool.
think it makes the beverage taste better when you got a nice cup.
Makes a big difference.
Okay, so today we're speaking about what the point of getting in shape is. Um, because I think there's many points. Some of them are more valuable than others. But interested because Ali, you said, okay, I want to speak about that when we were talking about ideas before. When I asked the question, what's the point of being in shape? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Uh, the dedication and consistency it takes to be able to get there. Like the amount of discomfort you have to get in shape. For the majority of people, you do have some genetic freaks who are outliers. But like to put yourself to get yourself to single digit body fat or to put yourself or to put some muscle mass on or to hit some fitness goal if you want to class getting in shape as fitness as well. To hit like do a marathon or something like that, you've got to go through some discomfort to be able to achieve them things. And then reaping the rewards after it.
But what's the point in that though?
Because it teaches you things about yourself that you didn't know.
Like what?
So you find out where your limitations are, you find out how to break through your limitations.
Mm,
You find out where you've got negative traits. So
mm,
for example, like my first prep compared to this prep, I'm a completely different human being. Like I would
mm.
never ever snap anybody at this in this prep. If
You would
I
never
say to
snap
Jake,
anybody.
no, no. If I snap at Jake in the gym, I'll let him slap me. So it's like it's like I'm not like, I'm still eating food, so I'm not starving. Like there's people in countries who can't get food. Like I'm still eating 5 meals a day.
Hmm.
I'm deciding to do this. I could put a stop to this at any point. I've got a McDonald's 2 minutes away from me.
Hmm.
Like it's a decision that I'm making myself, but every time I try and do it, I try and do it with a bigger smile on my face. I try and do it with a calmer personality. I try and do it with I try and enjoy it as much as I can.
Hmm.
Even though it's not ridiculously hard, even though it's really hard to try and be yourself.
Yes. So it's like essentially you value the hardness of it.
I value the challenge of when you don't want to be like yourself, you to try and be yourself.
Hmm.
So when you like it was like for example, like I said this to Jay before on our call, it's like Kobe wants to go for a piss last night, and it took me 5 minutes to let him out for a piss. If it happens again tonight, I want to do it under 5 minutes. So it's
What is in
like
the sense of like you had to battle with yourself for five
to get
minutes
up,
before you had the
to get
energy
up,
to
yeah,
do it.
to get up off the sofa. Because
Yeah.
like me, it's like I said, like for brain wise, I'm a little bit special at this moment in time. I'm a little bit slower, but it's me hip flexors. My hips are just
Yeah.
so tired, and it's like oh, like getting up and going for a piss. It's like you have to debate. Do you actually have to piss right now? Or could you hold off 10 minutes from now?
Yeah.
Just these little things. Like
Hmm.
training's not as fun. Like Jake, me and Jake try and have as much fun as you can. But it's like you're not hitting any PBs, not groundbreaking. It's like the training is more of an effort now as opposed to a fun thing
Hmm.
to do.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm just trying to manage variables. Like I'm not allowed to do more than 7,000 steps a day, but I've
Hmm.
got a dog,
Hmm.
so it's trying to manage all these like little things that go around. I think that's a really good. It puts a lot of things in perspective. Like a lot of things, like how much stuff do you just do that's shit that you don't actually need to do. Like any of like because all of you have dieted before, you become laser focused when you dieting because the shit you need to get done and the shit
Hmm.
that doesn't need to get done can get pushed aside. And I think that's a good thing to learn as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
100%.
Well,
So
like
that's
prioritization, you mean?
pardon.
You mean like prioritization of like what's
Yeah,
actually important and how to
yeah.
move that forwards when it's your
Because
focus?
it's like you've only got so much energy in the day. What you have to dedicate that energy to. So training, big one for me. Clients, bigger one for me. Like they're still
Mm.
paying me money, so I can't not do their work. But then outside of that, it's like, do I really need to scroll on Instagram?
Yeah.
Do I really need to do these other things that are just really, really not beneficial to me at all? Because I can't really move that much, reading's quite fun.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, like
I think
these kind of things. Um, Yeah.
I think setting I think we touched on this on a previous episode, but I think setting big and really hard goals is one of the greatest hacks of life because it forces you to delete all of the stupid shit that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like if you decide to do a bodybuilding prep, you cannot, you're just not going to be, you know, you're not going to find yourself in situations where you're doing negative shit.
Mm,
You're wasting time. It's just never going to occur.
yeah.
And I think the pursuit of that goal, the bigger it is, the more you have to delete, um the more stupid and shit habits you have to delete to create space for the good ones that are going to create growth. And so naturally you find yourself only doing great things and not doing anything, not obviously anything, no one's perfect, but you're doing very minimal amounts of things that are negative. And if you do that for long enough, you end up completely rebuilding your identity and then find yourself going, oh, actually, my life's significantly better. I've come so far by just setting this goal and working towards it and having the balls to actually commit to it, which I think is interesting thing. Jake, what comes to your mind when we think about why would you even try and get in shape in the first place?
For one, Jake, me or Jake, him?
You.
I think two things that first come to my mind. What Ali said, like as a concept, the reason someone isn't in shape is because they can't do it. Otherwise, you would have done it, right? So whether that's a tactical, piece of information that you need, or whether your mind
I don't know,
isn't,
we had something off plan. Sorry,
or
just,
whether
just kicked in. My
I
bad.
just heard this noise come out and his mouth was still. I was thinking, what the fuck? But your mind isn't effective enough to actually get the result. So you then have to realize and self-reflect, like, where is the constraint in my life or in me, in my habits, to make sure I can get in shape. And that is a pattern that you can recognize across work, across relationships, across finances, that you can only learn, or actually let me change that, you can learn easiest by hitting the low hanging fruit of getting in shape,
Hmm.
if that
So
makes
what?
sense.
Say more then when you say it it exposes the constraint.
Well, every time, maybe you're tired and you decide to not spend 2 minutes and prep your food for the next day.
Hmm.
If you then actually realize, like, that's a reason that you aren't getting in the standard of shape that you want, and you
Hmm.
change that, you go, oh, well, little things like this do build up and do create a completely different outcome 6 months down the line that I previously didn't actually probably think was possible. And it's
Yeah.
also not that hard. Like, it's that tiny thing. And I think when you do it, you realize how much easier everything else is. And everything that you think is going to be hard is just made up in your head.
Yeah, well, I think I've said this before. I don't think we're not on the podcast, but I think everything in the world is easy.
Hmm.
Everything. There's nothing that is hard. Nothing is hard inherently,
I agree.
apart from whatever's going on in our heads
Yeah.
and the perception of it being hard.
Yeah.
Because like fundamentally, it's like going into the gym and lifting weights is not hard. I mean, maybe you could say technically, it depends how you define hard, but like eating food and eating off your plant is not hard. It's relatively simple. All you've got to do is pick the food up and put it in your mouth. It's hard to do it mentally because your brain's thinking about all the other stuff you could be eating and you're hungry and it's the psychological aspect of it, but inherently it's not actually hard. So when you said that, it sort of exposes the constraint and then that leads into everywhere else. How do you see that lead actually into other areas of life then?
Can I just ask questions that though about things not being hard?
Yeah, of course.
Would you say running ultra marathons not hard?
No, I don't think that's hard.
How is that not hard?
Why is it hard?
Because when your body wants to break down and stop,
Hmm.
your body then can't perform.
But the only thing that's hard is just the sensation that your nervous system's producing to try and get you to stop.
Yeah, but the action of actually being able to produce things when you've got no energy is very difficult.
Do you mean from the back like a barrier to entry? So that choosing to do things isn't the hard part, maybe the actual
No, no.
Mm.
carrying the
Well,
task
if we,
out.
I think basically if you break anything down to its smallest constituent action, it's not inherently hard. So if we go ultra marathon, even if you are absolutely fucked, you ask the question, could you take one more step? You could say, yes, I'm strong enough to take one more step.
Yeah, but say if you physically can't.
Well, if you physically can't, then you can't.
But isn't that hard then?
Well, you could try.
But if you physically can't, isn't that hard?
It's not hard. It's impossible.
But by what you're saying there is like, try and explain to me how when you are absolutely fucked, so ATP is completely depleted, no reserves.
Mhm.
What's your definition of hard then?
Well, it's probably, yeah, it's probably a good way. We should define the word hard. The way I'm defining hard is, well, that's the problem. I
You don't
can't
think there's
actually
no word
create
that you don't
I
think there's a
can't
word
create a
called hard?
definition. I don't think it even is a thing. I think it's just a made up perception that people have, because you either can do it or you can't. It's like if you have no ATP in your quads and you're on a hack squat, it's like you can get it up or you can't. And so if you do, then you did, and if you didn't, then you didn't. It's irrelevant whether it was hard or not, or the perception of it. I think it's like it's just a sensation that your nervous system creates because it doesn't want you to do the thing.
Which makes it hard then to overrun that nervous system because that nervous system designed to keep you alive.
Yeah.
So
If you're not,
that's why I'd say it's hard.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the perception of something being hard doesn't necessarily mean in reality that has any relevance to whether you can do it or not.
You just said nothing's hard.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you are going on a hack squat, even if it could be perceived as hard, it can still be done.
Yeah, but okay, if we go on, let's go on the hack stuff then. What's easier, the first rep or the 10th rep? So perceivably, it gets harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like the action gets harder, so it's hard.
If we define it in that sense, as in like the muscle has to do more work
Yes.
or the nerve system has to do more work for sure. But I'm talking more about the perception of like, is this hard or is this easy? Is sort of completely irrelevant to whether you do it or not.
No, but I do get where you're coming from. I just think it's a very simple way to look at things without much really context.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like if you were to face a really hard rep on the hack squat, would you do it or not?
Depends if I could. With my training thought process now, mate, no, I don't believe we should train to failure.
But
So
like you know that if you're supposed to do the rep, are you gonna do it or not? Regardless of how hard it is.
okay, so like, are we talking about anything here? Or we just talk about physical activity.
Yeah, I mean anything can, but I think physical activity is harder, is it's easier to demonstrate the concept of hardness because it can be felt. Whereas I think it's actually easier to demonstrate your point physically. I think it's easier to demonstrate my point if we were speaking about something emotionally or mentally. So
Hmm.
let's speak about physical stuff. Um, I
Physical,
think
I get your concept in regards to physical stuff. It's either you can or you can't.
mhm.
But like to say things aren't hard, I think is potentially not how I'd word it.
How would you word it?
I'd say things are depending on the perspective of the client, depending on the experience of the client, becomes the level of difficulty towards the action. So everyone's got a different experience. So
Mhm.
for example, me dieting is easy. I just don't eat the food. But if I'm 350 pounds and I've had 15 years of abusing my body, me
Mhm.
going against that human physiology of wanting to eat food because that's how I've been rewired, and me stopping and me not having a takeaway once a week is hard.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, is that's just completely psychological. It's not actually hard for you to not get out of off the
But
couch, go
it's
into
not
the car,
psychological, it's
jog.
hormonal. So if left in a girl, I'm
Okay.
completely screwed about our
What do
ability
you
to,
Right,
about,
so okay, so if leptin is higher in the body, then what is that doing to the nervous system in order to make me want to go and get a McDonald's?
but it's not just psychological, though, is it? It's hormonal.
Well, no, of course, but like, what is it that what part of my body gets me to get up and go to McDonald's?
I understand what you're saying, but it's like, but it's still, it's not just psychological, though, is it? It's like if we've got a hormonal shift. Okay, so imagine if I stop driving test and I've got
Hmm.
fuck all test.
Hmm.
That makes life a lot more difficult for me, regardless of the psychological element of it. It's like I said, like for me, it's like it's but with my own experience of dieting, me
Hmm.
dieting is easy. It's still the same concept as someone who's 350 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. And all I'm saying is that person still the only thing that they actually have to do, regardless of how it feels, how hard it is, or how challenging it is, or what the hormones are saying, is that they just need to not get in the car and drive to McDonald's and order something and then put it in their mouth. So the
I agree.
physical actions are still exactly the same. The hardness is based on the internal perception of what they are doing.
And based off the previous experiences in life.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think I can't deny what you're saying is wrong. I think I agree. I understand the concept. I just think it's a to say nothing is hard. It depends what part of the world you're in when you say that.
I mean it's one of them things, isn't it? It's like I could argue against myself here.
Yeah.
It's not something I'll die on the hill. I think if we say if we're talking about like um the actual actions that it takes. So, for example, if you wanted to, um, you know, get a job, let's say someone's unemployed right now, listen to this, they want to get a job. All it takes is you'd have to apply for X amount of jobs. So let's say that person would need to apply for 100 jobs in order for them to get a job. The actual actions that would take is open a computer, type some words on a CV, write a CV, and press some buttons until they've sent 100 CVs. That's not actually inherently any of it is hard. Psychologically, it might be difficult for them to motivate themselves to do that, but the actions that it takes are not challenging,
Is quantum physics hard?
complex.
Do you
I want to interrupt here. I actually feel like I think Isaac's definition of hard might actually just mean simple.
What do you mean?
But I think it's simple and at the same time it's not easy.
But isn't
I
that
think
definition not easy hard?
I think well, I feel like Isaac, you've got a different definition of hard to the average person, right? And I don't mean that your ceiling for hard is higher. I mean the way you're talking about hard, it feels like that we're creating complexity to it. Because you
Yeah,
just
I
said
mean,
about the
I get what you're saying.
you said about the actions to a job application, right?
mhm.
Someone will make that so complex, and not even just within the actions, but they'll make it complex, and they'll, you know, all the things that they've experienced so far in life will create um, reasons as to not do it or why now isn't the right time to do it. But
Yeah, for sure.
the inherent actions are still extremely simple. It's just not
Yeah,
easy to
that
only
yeah,
focus on the action.
that
Yeah,
is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like the motto can be simple instead of hard. So Ali doesn't argue.
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, as I said, I could the point you just made, Ali, I could also argue against myself with that point because
Yeah.
obviously if hack squat rep one is easy, then obviously yes, rep 10 is harder. I think the most of the point I'm trying to make is regardless of our perception of how difficult something is, it can still be done.
No,
Whether that's
that's the whole point of this podcast, though, isn't it? It's not to just agree. It's to have a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah. But I think this is good because it's like when you get into the middle, this is like we actually found the answer now. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, even if it is challenging, it doesn't mean it still can't be done. We can all still do it, whether it's hack squat, a job application, building a business, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck it is you want to do, you can always do it if you get through whatever's going on internally in your mind.
I think what you like the one way is like nothing's truly impossible.
Yeah.
Well, some things are.
Just to say it to a certain degree. Nothing's truly how can we say let's take the word impossible out of it. Um
Well, if it's possible within the law of physics, then it's not impossible, surely.
so yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
how can we word that then?
Um, Nothing's impossible.
You
Yeah.
can do anything in the world that abides by the laws of physics.
It's not exactly catchy, that is it?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be simple, not easy.
Yeah.
So, okay. So basically going back to the original point, is that what you're then saying, Jake? Is that when you get in shape, you realize that you can basically achieve anything because you've gained a level of control over your mind that you didn't have before.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just realize it's inputs equals outputs, and the only barrier is literally, as cliche as it is literally you. And my other point that I think you'd probably actually say, Isaac, is that you get, not that it's important for your own fulfillment in life, but you get external validation that will give you a leg up in certain situations
Yeah,
once
for
you get
sure.
in shape.
Yeah. So I my main thing that I was thinking about has basically been like said by you two. One of the other reasons that I think it's essential to get in shape if you want to have a decent life is there is a unwritten, invisible hierarchy of humans that exists.
Hmm.
And there's loads of status games. And one of the status games you can play is are you in shape or not? Because your body tells a story about who you are. So if you're 100 pounds overweight, people will inherently, whether it's good or bad, perceive you in a specific way. And if you're in great shape, they will perceive you in a different way. And so you will naturally have more opportunities, whether it's in work, in friendships, in romantic relationships, whatever it is, because people will perceive you as a certain type of character before they even get to have a conversation with you, simply by you being in shape. Because you being in shape is proof, physical proof, because you cannot cheat it that you have done XYZ actions and demonstrate this discipline, resilience, and all of that stuff. So you pursuing getting in shape inherently just means that you will also have significantly higher opportunities in pretty much everything that you do because people will just respect you more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
And there's also loads of I mean, obviously, there's also we haven't even fucking touched on the health benefits. We can we can talk about that, but like, there's so much there's so many studies and so much research around people who are higher in the hierarchy of humans in the world. So people who have more money, people who are healthier, people who are in better shape. All of these things that you would typically consider as status games generally live longer in general. Like they have higher life expectancies, they have lower stress levels, like all of these things occur. Um, and so it's just like the actual quality of your life as well will probably improve the higher up you are in the what well Jordan Peterson calls it the dominance hierarchy, doesn't he?
Mm.
And so like if you are higher up in that, you have lower stress. People who are at the bottom of the dominance hierarchy are inherently extremely stressed. So if you're not in the best financial position, you're not in good shape, you don't really have much going on, you haven't created much in your life, it's really hard to feel great because your nervous system is telling you that you need to level up. It's telling you need to climb the hierarchy because otherwise you're not going to pass on your genes. So I think that inherently, just understanding that about humans and remembering that we're animals is just a fucking unbelievably vital reason that you should probably get in shape. Otherwise, it's going to be probably challenging to have a great life.
Mm. Do you know what? I never heard about that dominance hierarchy. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen to Jordan.
Yeah, I like Jordan Peterson.
JP. I
Yeah,
used to get I used to get mixed up with him and
yeah,
JP.
yeah. He's not the original JP.
Imagine Jordan Peterson pressing like 6 plates.
Jordan Peters has come off Insta, hasn't
Was he?
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
I
he
was
say
just about
why?
to say I would love to see a conversation between Jordan Peterson and Jordan Peters if they had
Jordan,
a podcast together.
I
Jordan
reckon it'd be
Peters.
interesting.
Yeah, Jordan Peters clever, mate.
That's what I mean. I think it'd be an
Yeah,
amazing
he's really
conversation.
clever. He's really clever.
Do you
And
know
Jake, what?
why
Sorry, go on.
he's come off Instagram? Ali.
Probably because he's fed up a bit.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
hasn't like said any reason why. He's just done it.
No,
Just
he
drop
just he
dropped
just does
off.
it. He just does it time to time. He's got brilliant. He's doing well business wise. He doesn't need to market.
Yeah.
Probably is a marketing strategy. Disappears
Yeah,
for a few months, comes back, and everyone's fucking back on him.
yeah,
Look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
us.
yeah,
We're talking about him.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think he's amazing. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, do you want to expand or?
I think he's the pioneer of the first person to really probably blow up on social media who told people to fucking train really hard in the gym.
Hmm.
Like it's like find out where your limitation is, go past your limitation, then pull back.
Hmm. Yep.
He was the first person to really push because like you got two people who were before him in regards to Dante Trudell, who wrote Dog Crap Training, and then you had Dr. Scott Stevenson, who wrote Fortitude Training. Like them two people mentored Jordan Peterson to some degree, but obviously
Hmm.
they're nowhere near as big on the social media platform as what he was, and he helped pioneer their training modality. So it's funny because like we all go around these cyclical ways within the industry, but
Hmm.
training always comes back to the basics of do as little as you need to do to make progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as.
Hmm.
And it doesn't need to be much more complicated. I said this in my story yesterday. It's like, oh, a post, I can't remember now. But it's like we all focus so much on trainings, but we never actually focus on the recovery elements of things,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is 50% of the equation.
Yeah. We said
which
this last week, didn't
Yeah.
which I
we?
actually think moves nicely into the exact conversation that we're on in terms of the um the reasons why you should get in shape. Because if you get in shape and you do it as quickly as possible, you're going to do that with hiring an expert. If you hire an expert, they'll tell you what the actual needle movers are that are important. Only give those your energy. Don't focus on the ones that do nothing. And that,
Mm.
as a lesson for other areas of life as well, is extremely important. Save
Yeah,
you
yeah,
knees.
yeah, yeah. 100% agreed. Ginger Jake, what's your opinion on why you should get in shape?
To be honest, my first thoughts when you first said it were very similar to what you guys have discussed, but I think as well an important thing to note is whatever the point is for each person will have a different point of wanting to get in shape or to become fitter or healthier. Whatever that point is, it's got to outweigh the things that are going to be hard. So
Mm.
the process of becoming fit or getting in shape, whatever it may be, whatever your point is or the reason is, that's got to be weightful enough or meaningful enough to actually outweigh the reasons of why you're not going to do it. Because if it doesn't, they're the people that aren't. So for us, we'll all have a reason for why we do what we do. It's like Ali's competing, for example. He'll have certain reasons or certain goals of why he's doing that. And that is why he'll do what he needs to do. That's why he feels like shit at the moment, but he's just going to crack on and he's going to get it done. People who don't have a meaningful reason behind it won't happen, and they'll be the ones that just spin the wheels. That was the first thing that I thought of.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So
Well, I
you,
mean, what do you think the point is though? Like, what? Because what even creates the like? What would be the reason why you would even give a fuck in the first place? Because it is hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, everyone will have their own reasons. I would imagine for us, because we're all quite similar on this call now, going back to that hierarchy, there'll all be a little bit of that within us. I would suggest. I would
Mm-hmm.
say for myself, I would say that wanting to look and be a certain way and have a certain presence, then you throw in for us our role as what we do as a job, being able to lead from the front as a coach or set a certain example or demand a certain amount of authority within our field. Again, probably goes back to that hierarchy thing. But for some people, it might not even be that. It might just be as simple as they want to be able to do things with the kids.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
so
for
you,
sure.
so you feel like being able to realize and actually connect to like your true reason why is the valuable part. Is that what you're
That's
saying?
how you'll get to the goal is by realizing what the reason is and making sure that that outweighs
Mm.
the negatives or the things that are going to creep up.
Yeah.
I like
Is
that.
there, purely because I'm curious, do you feel like there's a specific reason why that's away from actually achieving the goal, why that's actually useful for just like life in general, in terms of like connecting to that why?
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like what we spoke about there. It's that fitness can be used as it's a very, like we said, what's the reason of wanting to become in great shape or fitter?
Mm.
It is quite a surface level goal of what's the point in becoming fit or becoming in sick shape. But the lessons you'll learn from that, the discipline, the challenges, etc. You can then take that same concept and apply it to life. So with work, for example, there's going to be days where you wake up and you go, I can't be fucking asked. But again, the reason behind why you go to work should outweigh the reason of why you could stay in bed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, for sure. Ali, I know you might need to jump off now,
Yeah,
but
I'm just gonna make you host.
okay, man. I'm gonna say one final thing and get your guys' opinion. Ali, obviously, if you want to
You're
leave, then you
you're
can go.
host anyway.
All good.
Like this.
Um,